Welcome.
Attention, please.
Welcome aboard.
Welcome to the No Comfort Zone podcast. It's time to get out of your comfort zone and live on purpose. Broadcasting to the world from Rockford, Illinois. This is your wake-up call.
Warning.
You are the solutions to all your problems. Stop thinking average. Become the hero version of yourself. Every day, every time, without fail, no exceptions. It all matters. You've entered the No Comfort Zone. It's time for a reality check.
Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Dan, the No Comfort Zone guy. So it's Sunday. So I'm Sunday. I'm walking through my house. There's actually nobody home right now. It's pretty quiet. It's just me and the dogs chilling out. Monty, Mo, and Lucy. Monty's following me right now as I'm pacing, as I'm walking around on my iPhone, podcasting to you from Rockford, Illinois. So this is crazy. So it snowed on the 31st, and I was supposed to clean up my yard and stuff like that, do those sort of things, and I didn't do it. So now there's snow on the ground still, a little bit, and it's really muddy outside, and I don't feel like doing any of the yard work I'm supposed to do, so I'd rather talk to you instead. Hope this podcast finds you well. So I'm doing a lot of soul searching lately on creating the next content. And if you saw the last couple of podcasts, I actually reached out for, I need some help on creating content. Not that I'm running out of content, but I want to make sure that I'm connecting with you on the level that you want me to connect to you with. Pretty cool. Just recently, I noticed that when I look on my map of who's listening to my podcast, it's really starting to grow. It's starting to grow in the United States a lot, especially in the Midwest, which is kind of cool. But more importantly, that's where I'm from. More importantly, it's starting to grow in other countries, and I think that's pretty neat. So I think I'm reaching some people, and I'm pretty excited about that blueprint, because that blueprint that I've created at the nocomfortzone.com really can kind of give you a format, it'll give you a format on how to set your goals. And lately, I've been spending a lot of time on YouTube listening to the law of attraction, and really how your mind and I can't even think of it, how your brain works and how your subconscious works. And there's a reason why I'm doing that, because when I created the No Comfort Zone, when I was writing the book, the editor actually was a big fan of this guy, Dr. Joel Dispenza, I think. And she said, Dan, he talks about the mental side of things, and you do the physical and the mental side of things. Now, he's a doctor, and he's very well versed in this, easy for me to say, and I'm not. So I'm doing this by just, hunting and pecking and trial and error, and that's how I'm coming up with the No Comfort Zone. But this guy's got it down to a science. So if you get a chance, listen to him, because I think it's pretty cool what he's talking about. And I believe there's a lot of validity in what he's saying on how the old version of yourself, how you think about something in the past and you have an emotional state carried to it, and that brings you into the present, so you can never change. So I talk about the past a lot, but I'm grateful for my past and all the adversity I went through. I need to really start paying attention more so to the successes that I've had, because I'll be honest with you. You ever get a compliment and you get that compliment and you're like, man, I don't know. You just don't take compliments well. I don't either. It's great and stuff, but that's kind of a shame, because if somebody gives you a genuine compliment or criticism, you should thank them for it. And instead of saying, oh yeah, no, it's no big deal. I've heard somebody else talk about that on a podcast too. So I think it's a thing, but I want to know that, that person who's giving me the compliment, I should let them know that I appreciate it. And if I appreciate the compliment, then I could appreciate the criticism too, if there is any, and should be. Why I've been listening to him is because I'm really, truly invested in becoming a better version of myself. Now, if I decide to, like it's Sunday, I decided to go run in place for 30 minutes and do my thing on the, agility ladder in my basement. It was hard, and I'm done with it, and I'm glad I'm over with it. But I do want to become a version of myself that's the ideal me. And the ideal me is about 30 pounds lighter, ripped, as we used to say in the Marines, twisted steel and sex appeal, all that good stuff. But also I want to do it because of the vitality. I want to feel better about myself. Yeah, I do want to look better, but I want to feel better, and I want to have youthfulness. So listening to this Dr. Joel was pretty amazing because I can understand from a scientific point of view what he's talking about. And in the physical version, I'm trying to change my body, but also your thoughts can kind of change that as well. Pretty interesting stuff, to say the least. So where does that put me at today with my no comfort zone? The hero version of yourself is nothing more than the ideal you. Now, why do you want to create the ideal you? Because if you do create the ideal you, you're going to be a problem solver to many. The ideal version of you, I'm going to give you an example of the ideal version of somebody would be Martin Luther King. Not only he had this vision, right? I have a dream, he had a vision, but he also was able to, quite frankly, create a movement and a culture of people that were like-minded. And am I trying to create or compare myself to Martin Luther King? Absolutely not. But I do have a vision that there's people out there that are actually suffering and they don't need to. I have a feeling that there's people out there that have your normal day-to-day problems and are making a bigger deal out of it than they necessarily should. But I understand that it's pretty important to them right now. So if they can take that, what's important to them right now, and realize there's an opportunity to learn something, you can grow and you can be better. When you can do that and you can help the immediate people around you to solve their problems because you're getting them outside of their comfort zone, you're helping them grow and helping them be better, well, then that's going to spread into the community, into your place of business, and so on and so on and so on. So just imagine if you have a bunch of people that are like-minded, that are willing to get out of their comfort zone. They're willing to do things not for themselves, but for other people. Just think how that would happen. And I'm passionate about that because for the longest time, I was so introverted when it came to my problems. I was so apathetic, did nothing to help my problems or live in the solution, just complained an awful lot, cried all the time. And basically, I became pathetic. And when I started to feel pathetic, then I started to take action towards that direction. And now what I'm saying is, what about a feeling of, let's just say this, I'm doing things like running in place so that I can lose weight. Makes sense. I'm eating less so that I can not get so fat anymore. I'm doing the things necessary to lose the weight. I'm doing the things necessary to get out of debt. I'm doing things necessary in my place of employment to make things better. And listen, none of it is easy. It's all uncomfortable. It's all foreign to me, and it is exhausting. But the cool part is I've come up with this thing where you don't have to do it for 365 days a year unless you want to. In an extreme case, over a 30-day time period, just whatever it takes to get outside your comfort zone. A warm shower, turn that into a cold shower. You get up at 7:30, get up at 5. You go to bed at, let's say 10:30, go to bed at 11. And during that half an hour, work on something that you normally wouldn't do. If it's comfortable to come home and turn on the TV, don't turn on the TV. Simple things like that. If you're at the dinner table and you look at your cell phone, put your cell phone in the other room so you can have a conversation with your spouse. If you don't have a spouse, instead of watching Netflix, turn off Netflix and go someplace where there's people, not online, but go someplace where there's people, get uncomfortable and put it out there that you want to meet people. If you're going through grief, maybe instead of going to sitting on your phone and complaining to your friends and family, maybe go to a grief counseling session to get up and get out, meet people, interact, because you might be able to get a little uncomfortable, but you might be able to help somebody else. And when you do that consistently over a period of time, you create a better version of yourself, just like Dr. Joel says. There's a lot more to it than that, but that's what I'm working on now. And those are the things that I'm starting to, I guess, have a better understanding of. So I wanted to share that with you in this podcast. And I really do believe in you. And I believe adversity is not the worst thing in the world. It's not going to last forever. There's good days and there's bad days. There's terrible and horrible days, but there's great and fantastic days. You have the choice based on the stimulus that happens to you on how you want to react. You can be the role of the victim or you could be the role of the hero. This podcast is to help you become the hero version of yourself. And how do you do that? By getting out of your comfort zone and living on purpose.
Say goodbye.
Want more of the No Comfort Zone? You can follow Dan on Instagram and Twitter at NoComfortZone1.
Bye.
Or on the web at thenocomfortzone.com.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the No Comfort Zone podcast.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.